Army of the Kings, Lecture 18, Jehu to Jehoiada. Jehoiada. But before we start there, you guys forget to tell me this.
I'm open to.
Okay, you ready for some Kings of Israel and Judah review? Because we'll have an exam. This will be a separate exam when we have an exam at the end on this. Here we go. Here we go.
Judah first?
Yeah. Judah. We gotta keep doing those. So, Samson?
No,
Saul, David, and Solomon.
Solomon.
So I'm going to keep you in groups here. Then we've got 4 after Solomon. Rehoboam, Abijah, Asa, Jehoshaphat. I have to look at these. I'm trying to not look at them, but 3 more. Jehoshaphat. Then Jehoram, Ahaziah, Athaliah, for a short period of time. Then there's 4. Joash, Amaziah, Uzziah, Jotham, now twosies, Ahaz, Hezekiah, Manasseh, Ammon, slow down, 2 J's, Josiah, Jehoahaz, 2 more, Jehoiakim, Jehoiakim, last one, Zedekiah. Alright, now we need to add in Israel, which we definitely don't have down. There's 3. Jeroboam the first, Baasha, and Nadab. Sorry, we get backwards. Sorry. Jeroboam the first, Nadab, and Baasha. Again, Jeroboam the first, Nadab, Baasha. Then 3 more we did last week. Elah, Zimri, and Omri. It might be Omri, I'm saying them the way I'm saying them, so don't get stuck on that. Elah, Zimri, Omri. Elah, Zimri, Omri. Now the whole of Israel, 6 of them. Jeroboam the first, Nadab, Baasha, Elah, Zimri, Omri.
Ahab.
Well, next, yeah, but we're not there yet. Now we're going to do the next 3. Yeah, we're going to do them now. So, next 3. Is this clean or you got
Dirty
Is nasty?
germs on it?
Yeah. No, it's clean. Very clean, actually. Let's go on. Ahab.
Phobia. Ahab.
In case you want to know one. Ahab, Ahaziah, Jehoram. So, if you look on here, on yours, if you have, there's Ahaziahs on both sides, Jehoram on both sides, close to the same time. It messes with your mind. But don't worry about that. Just memorize them in order. Here again. Ahab, Ahaziah, Jehoram. Ahab, Ahaziah, Jehoram. Start at the top of Israel. Jeroboam the first. Nadab, Baasha, Elah, Zimri, Omri. Now the new ones, 3. Ahab, Ahaziah,
and
Jehoram. Never and over.
These are kings.
Okay.
These are the kings. Yeah, these
Here we go.
are Judah. These are the kings of.
We're getting there. We got about 5 or 6 more weeks to do this, so don't have a conniption fit, online students. It'll be okay. 2 Kings 10:2. Now as soon as this letter cometh to you, seeing your master's sons are with you, and there are with you chariots and horses, a fenced city also in armor, look even out the best and meetest of your master's sons, and set him on his father's throne, and fight for your master's house. Jehu is telling these people. But they were exceedingly afraid and said, Behold, 2 kings stood not before him. How then shall we stand? He that was over the house, and he that was over the city, the elders also, and the bringers up of the children, sent to Jehu, saying, We are thy servants, and will do all that thou shalt bid us. We will not make any king. Do thou that which is good in thine eyes. Then he wrote a letter the second time to them, saying, If ye be mine, and if ye will hearken unto my voice, Take ye the heads of the men, your master's sons, and come to me to Jezreel by tomorrow this time. So they had 24 hours. Now the king's sons, being 70 persons, were with the great men of the city, which brought them up. And it came to pass, when the letter came to them, that they took the king's sons and slew 70 persons,
Isn't that awful?
and put their heads in baskets, and sent him to Jezreel. And there came a messenger and told him, saying, They have brought the heads of the king's sons. And he said, Lay ye them in 2 heaps at the entering in of the gate until the morning. It came to pass in the morning that he went out and stood and said to all the people, Ye be righteous. Behold, I conspired against my master and slew him. But who slew all these? Know now that there shall fall into the earth nothing of the word of the Lord, which the Lord spake concerning the house of Ahab. For the Lord hath done that which he spake by his servant Elijah. So Jehu slew all that remained of the house of Ahab in Jezreel, and all his great men, his king folks, and his priests, until he left him none remaining. Well, this guy was on a rampage against Ahab and his people. Who is it? Jehu. Jehu. So someone read the 2 verses, the next text.
And he arose and departed and came to Samaria. And as he was at the shearing house in the way, Jehu met with the brethren of Ahaziah king of Judah, and said, Who are ye? And they answered, We are the brethren of Ahaziah, and we go down to salute the children of the king and the children of the queen. And he said, Take them alive. And they took them alive and slew them at the pit of the shearing house, even 42 men, neither left he any of them.
So he kills both Ahab's group and also Ahaziah's.
They were relatives.
Yeah. One was the king of Israel's side,
Right.
the other king of Judah. So let's go back to the Reds again. So Jehu, there were 70 sons of King Ahab, and he had the people of the city slew them, cut off their heads, put their heads in baskets, and then Jehu had them just dump them out at the entering of the gates. This is where all the people come in at. Whoa, that's probably a good idea to do. And then Jehu slew all that remained of the house of Ahab. So know that. Also know that Jehu went after the brethren of Ahaziah, king of Judah, and slew them. 42 of them. 70? 42. I don't know that. And when he was departed thence, he lighted on Jehonadab, the son of Rechab, coming to meet him. And he saluted him, and said to him, Is thine heart right, as my heart is with thy heart? And Jehonadab answered, It is. If it be, give me thine hand. And he gave him his hand, and he took him up into his chariot. And he said, Come with me, and see my zeal for the Lord. So they made him ride in his chariot. And when he came to Samaria, he slew all that remained unto Ahab in Samaria, till he had destroyed him, according to the saying of the Lord, which he spake to Elijah. So he takes this the son of Rechab, a key boy, a young man here, and says, Watch me go kill a bunch of people. Come on with me. And when Athaliah, the mother of Ahaziah, saw that her son was dead, which son would that be?
Ahaziah.
Yes, Ahaziah, thank you. She arose and destroyed all the seed royal. And Athaliah did reign over the land. Which kingdom?
Judah. So
Judah, that's correct.
So she was killing her grandsons.
I guess from another lineage, though. Probably from the father's side, not her side. That's a good question, yeah. Have to look that up.
So that she could reign.
Yeah.
Anybody who could have been the king.
I don't know, see, isn't listed in the king, but it's in parentheses, and was she ever ordained or voted in as king or queen?
No.
How can a woman be a king?
No, she just took it.
She's like, they're bogus.
Although-
See, women do bogus things sometimes.
Although it
We
wouldn't
need to get on their cases when they do.
Ahaziah didn't have any sons, though.
She didn't do this for me. I'm just kidding. I should have a little sign. Just kidding again. Women do awesome things, but Athaliah here did not.
No, she didn't.
But Jehosheba, the daughter of King Joram. What?
I say Jehoshaphat.
Jehosheba, the daughter of King Joram, sister of Ahaziah, took Joash, the son of Ahaziah, and stole him from among the king's sons which were slain. And they hid him, even him and his nurse, in the bedchamber from Athaliah, so that he was not slain. And he was with her, hid in the house of the Lord 6 years. So let's look at what we got here. We got Athaliah, who was the mother of Ahaziah. Her son was killed by Jehu, and so she killed all the remaining sons in the lineage so she can be king, queen, whatever. But one that she didn't get was Joash, the youngest one. And we won't have to know the name of the sister, but the sister of Ahaziah took him and hid him for 6 years. Someone read 3 verses if they can.
And Jehu gathered all the people together and said unto them, Ahab served Baal a little, but Jehu shall serve him much. Now therefore call unto me all the prophets of Baal, all his servants, and all his priests. Let none be wanting, for I have a great sacrifice to do to Baal. Whosoever shall be wanting, he shall not live. But Jehu did subtly to the intent that he might destroy the worshippers of Baal.
Yes. So understand that Jehu's tricking him here. Jehu said, proclaim a solemn assembly for Baal. They proclaimed it. Jehu sent through all Israel, and all the worshippers of Baal came, so that there was not a man left that came not. And they came into the house of Baal, and the house of Baal was full from one end to the other, to another. And he said unto him that was over the vestry, bring forth vestments for all the worshippers of Baal. They brought them forth vestments. Jehu went, and Jehonadab, the son of Rechab, into the house of Baal, and said unto the worshippers of Baal, search, and look that there be here with you none of the servants of the Lord, but the worshippers of Baal only. Didn't have a clue. And when they went into their sacrifices and burnt offerings, Jehu appointed 80 men without, and said, if any of the men whom I have brought into your hands escape, he that letteth him go, his life shall be for the life of him. And it came to pass, as soon as he had made an end of offering the burnt offering, that Jehu said to the guard and to the captains, go in and slay them, let none come forth. And they smote them with the edge of the sword, and the guard and the captains cast them out, and went to the city of the house of Baal. And they brought forth the images out of the house of Baal, and burned them, and they break down the image of Baal, and break down the house of Baal, and made it a draught house unto this day. Thus Jehu destroyed Baal out of Israel. So God was using him big time. Talk about slaughter, intense slaughters, as far as you can go. So what did they do here? He wanted to have a great, he basically lied in a way. What did he say here? Got little people, we're going to serve Baal. Let's get all the great followers of Baal together. Didn't they know that he wasn't a follower of Baal? I guess he tricked him into thinking he was. Get them all together. We want everyone here, so it can be a great time. And so they got them all in. I was thinking, though, how big a place was it? If they got all the worshippers from the area in, it's not, how many could fit in there? Maybe a couple thousand. So I think it'd be a lot more than that. Like if we got all the worshippers in the state of Washington, let's say, together that worshipped Mary, it'd be a lot of them. We have to have a stadium. But anyways, and then he had them put on vestments, a little clothing, so they could really tell who they were. And we don't want anyone that's a servant of the Lord here. So they got them all out and then killed them all. Very unique way of doing that. So he destroyed Baal out of Israel. And the Lord said unto Jehu, this is interesting here. Because thou hast done well in executing that which is right in mine eyes, and hast done unto the house of Ahab according to all that was in mine heart, thy children of the 4th generation shall sit on the throne of Israel. But Jehu took no heed to walk in the law of the Lord God of Israel with all his heart, for he departed not from the sins of Jeroboam, which made Israel to sin.
So it was just as bad. Well, maybe not as bad in God's eyes, but I mean.
Yeah, it's interesting that God blessed him, even though his heart, well, maybe temporarily had zeal for the Lord, but really God knew his heart. Jehu just liked to kill people, go after him, and And God used him for that, and he blessed him. So you can make a big principle about this, maybe something like, I might be off on this, it's just me thinking that if someone is really zealous for doing a certain thing for the Lord, God can use him, even though he might be way off in other things. Like his doctrine can stink, but maybe he's a great evangelist. He gets the gospel out, but beyond that, that's my application for the day. But because you guys did so well with that, we'll keep going on. And who would like to read 2 or 3 verses? You may begin.
And in the 7th year, Jehoiada strengthened himself and took the captains of hundreds, Azariah the son of Jeroham, and Ishmael the son of Jehohanan, and Azariah the son of Obed, and Maaseiah the son of Adiah, and Elishaphat the son of Zikri, into covenant with him. You did that on purpose.
Yes, I did. Very good.
And they went about in Judah and gathered the Levites out of all the cities of Judah and the chief of the fathers of Israel, and they came to Jerusalem.
All right, good job. As online students, remember, you need to be reading also. So you just pick spots where you want to read verbally out loud. Mute it, or just turn it down, and you do it too, okay? Don't take the easy way out. 3, and all the congregation made a covenant with the king in the house of God. And he said unto them, Behold, the king's son shall reign, which is Joash, as the Lord hath said of the sons of David. So this is Jehoiada saying that.
Jehoiada?
Jehoiada. That's how I'm saying it.
Jehoiada. I think that's how it says it in here.
In fact, it's I.
Well, it's just that the OI, it
Oh.
shows that the OI in the...
That's fine, but I'm saying it as Jehoiada.
Good.
Okay, thank you. It might be a different way. Hey,
It goes...
well, it's like how you said Maaseiah. You went Maas,
I
Isaiah,
don't know
and
that.
it's just a flat,
But
flat.
the OI is like oil.
Okay, you got one thing right out of the
Okay.
17 words you butchered. Okay, let's go on.
Fine.
No, actually, you got everyone exactly
No,
right.
I didn't.
Sounds good at least. All right, let's go on. This is the thing that you shall do. A third part of you entering on the Sabbath of the priests of the Levites shall be porters of the doors. A third part shall be at the king's house. A third part at the gate of the foundation. And all the people shall be in the courts of the house of the Lord. But let none come into the house of the Lord. So what are they getting ready to do here? Kill Athaliah and set Joash up as king. All right. So, and back up, and a third part of the king's house, and the prison, and all people shall be in the courts of the Lord. But let none come into the house of the Lord. Oh yeah, slow down. But let none come into the house of the Lord, save the priests. And then they that minister of the Levites, they shall go in, for they are holy. But all the people shall keep the watch of the Lord. And the Levites shall compass the king round about, every man with his weapons in his hand, getting all set for this big event. And whosoever else cometh into the house, he shall be put to death. But be ye with the king when he cometh in, Joash, and when he goeth out. Then they brought out the king's son, and put upon him the crown, and gave him the testimony, and made him king. And Jehoiada and his sons anointed him, and said, God save the king! Now when Athaliah heard the noise of the people running and praising the king, she came to the people into the house of the Lord. And she looked, and behold, the king stood at his pillar at the entering in, this little boy. And the princes and the trumpets by the king. And all the people of the land rejoiced, and sounded with trumpets, also the singers with the instruments of music, and such as taught to sing praise. Then Athaliah rent her clothes, and said, Treason! Treason! Then Jehoiada the priest brought out the captains of hundreds that were set over the host, and said unto them, Have her forth of the ranges, and whoso followeth her, let him be slain with the sword. For the priest said, Slay her not in the house of the Lord. Someone finish those 2 verses.
So they laid hands on her, and when she was come to the entering of the horse gate by the king's house, they slew her. And the people of the land rejoiced, and the city was quiet. After that they had slain Athaliah, about Athaliah with the sword.
Amen. It's a Texas name. Texas name. All right, so wow, what a sad ending to this lady. Athaliah yells out, treason, treason. Now let's go back up to the top of the next one. Jehoiada is the priest. He's setting all this up to have Joash come on in as the rightful heir, because they found, had it hidden away. In fact, I think Jehoiada knew that and kind of orchestrated it all, would be my guess. And said, and so the king's son shall reign, Joash. So Jehoiada setting it up for Joash to reign, the young boy. Athaliah is currently, I guess, his king. And so he sets it up, and they make her king. She was a false king, but nonetheless they looked at her as a king, with a high voice, I guess. And then she yells out, treason, treason! So Jehoiada, the priest, says, okay, you're going to take care of her, but not in the house of the Lord. Took her outside and slew her with the sword. Joash was 7 years old when he began to reign. Wow, it's like Amethyst age.
Yeah.
And of course Jehoiada was basically running the show.
Right.
And he reigned 40 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name also was Zebiah of Beer-sheba.
Well, and then I think that Jehoshaphat that hid Joash was married to Jehoiada, the priest.
Oh, that could be true. I did not know that.
I think that's how it went.
And Jehoiada made a covenant between the Lord and the king and the people, and that that they should be the Lord's people. But the king also and the people. Sorry, back it up. That's what happens when you rush. Between the king also and the people. The covenant being made here. And all the people of the land went into the house of Baal and break it down. His altars and his images break they in pieces thoroughly, and slew Matan, the priest of Baal, before the altars. And the priest appointed officers over the house of the Lord. And he took the rulers over hundreds, and the captains and the guard, and the people of the land, and they brought down the king from the house of the Lord, and came by the way of the gate of the guard to the king's house. And he sat on the throne of the kings. And all the people of the land rejoiced, and the city was in quiet. Because who was reigning?
Joash.
Joash, the boy king. Someone do those two verses?
And Joash did that which was right in the sight of the Lord all the days of Jehoiada the priest. But the high places were not taken away, and the people still sacrificed and burnt incense in the high places.
That is right. We'll break shortly, obviously. If you notice here, this is a harmony of the kings. So we're using 2 Chronicles, 2 Kings. You see how that's coming in? So understand we're getting all of it put in here. So now, and Jehoiada took for him 2 wives. What? He messed up. And he begat sons and daughters. And it came to pass after this that Joash was minded to repair the house of the Lord. And he gathered together the priests and the Levites. I think he was 16 years old when he did this. And said to them, go out into the cities of Judah, and gather of all Israel money to repair the house of your God from year to year, and see that you hasten the matter. Albeit the Levites hastened it not.
They didn't listen to him.
Knuckleheads. Now the rest of the acts of Jehu, and all that he did, and all his might, are they not written in the book of Chronicles of the kings of Israel? Jehu, that would be our Chronicles, right? And Jehu slept with his fathers, and they buried him in Samaria. And the time that Jehu reigned over Israel in Samaria was 28 years. And Jehoahaz, his son, reigned in his stead. So Jehu...
Sled Jehoahaz on that side too.
Yeah, right. So what side was Jehu a king of?
Israel.
Yeah, he's on the Israel side. His son is Jehoahaz. So let's take a break. Why not? Since this person's
Got to
got
talk
it.
to
Yeah,
you.
talk.
Yeah.